Hi there, Jean Greer here at Stylish Fireplaces. Today I want to introduce you to our Nocturne brick veneer. So Nocturne is a very deep charcoal or black color. You see it on the wall behind me. In our installation it looks more gray than black, and that's partly because of the amount of mortar that has gotten onto the brick during the installation. Obviously, if you're able to brush more of that away, you would see more of the black coming through, and you can sort of see a little more black on our sample board here. Black or charcoal, call it what you will. It is the darkest brick that we sell. It is a more contemporary looking brick. If you can think of brick as being more contemporary, this would be one of those. It has quite a smooth surface compared to other bricks, which tend to look a little more reclaimed and a little more rustic. Nocturne is a more contemporary looking surface, and it is going to give you that texture of brick and having all of the individual pieces, but without all of the roughness and the rusticity, and not quite as industrial looking, in my opinion. So we've used this brick here with our fireplaces. We love a dark background with the fireplaces. It always makes the fire and the colors in the fireplaces really pop. We've seen this used in a basement application where we were going for more of a lounge, relaxed sort of environment, but we wanted an interesting backdrop around the fireplace and against the, actually it was a backdrop for an exercise space. So it really worked well. Of course, you're seeing bricks more and more often in upscale restaurants, bars, that sort of application. Sometimes it is the real thing where they've done reclaimed brick walls in an older section of a city, but often it's this brick veneer that you're seeing. And so we really like the Nocturne for giving that effect in a nice dark gray or charcoal color. The recommended mortar here is gray, so we've used the gray mortar. You could imagine this would look quite different, for instance, with a darker mortar. So let's say you were to do a black mortar with the dark brick, you'd get a very different effect. But having that gray and a bit of contrast obviously plays up the fact that this is a darker brick and quite out of the norm for what you think of with the brick being sort of earthy reds and orangey colors. This is quite a nice, different look for that. This is individual pieces. It's a man-made brick product. So it's called a brick veneer because, of course, it's thin pieces of brick, like so. It is not a full brick, so that's considered a brick veneer. It is interior use only, not suited for exterior use. And we in our showroom do not seal our brick and wall covering products because they're not going to take a lot of heavy use or wear, or we don't have to worry about things splattering on them. It's not that kind of an environment. But you could, of course, seal this. If I were going to seal any of our brick products, to me the beauty of these brick veneers is in the texture and in getting the realism of the brick. So I don't like a shiny coating on our bricks if we're going to seal them. So we use the most matte sealer we can find to seal our bricks if necessary. And I would only do that in an area where there's a chance, let's say it's an accent wall in a kitchen, or I mean, even if you were brave enough to put it on a backsplash, then I would definitely seal it so that you don't have to worry about food staining it. Obviously in a wet environment, in a bathroom or something, I might want to seal it for easier cleaning. But it's in here, we don't seal it. I just keep it natural. So it is a Canadian product. We bring it in from a company in Quebec. It's called Nocturne, so that indicates the dark gray or black color. It is individual pieces. They're about 3/8 inch thick, so you will need something to cut them. We used a wet saw as we would for any of our tile products. The adhesive that holds them to the wall is the same type of adhesive that we would use with a tile. And then because it's individual pieces, you're going to have to put this mortar between the bricks by hand. So that's done with a mortar cone, or what looks like a piping bag if you're into baking, but it's a mortar cone. You're going to squeeze that mortar in between the bricks, and then you're going to have to wipe away the excess with a small tool that goes between these bricks. So that has to be done after the fact. These are individual pieces. So you're going to put them up separately first, as you would with a tile, and then put the mortar in afterwards and wipe the excess mortar away. And that's always the messiest part of any of our brick veneer installations. It's not difficult, but that's the messy part. You've got to have a drop cloth so that when you wipe that mortar away, that's falling to the floor. And then just be as careful as you want to be not to get that mortar on the bricks. They don't recommend washing the brick afterwards. So it's not like you're going to be able to wipe that away as you would with a grout on a tile. You wipe away the haze. With the bricks, that's not recommended. You're going to brush it away. So you want to be quite careful when you're applying the mortar not to get too much on the bricks if you want to maintain the deepest, richest dark color and not have a haze over it. So you just have to decide how you want the finished product to look. So again, it's Nocturne brick. You'll find it at stylishfireplaces.ca. If you look on our navigation bar and move over to fireplace add-ons and then scroll down to the brick products, you'll find Nocturne in that area of our website, stylishfireplaces.ca.